Hello, everybody, and welcome to our coverage of the In-Cup Qualifiers Round 2 in our double elimination bracket. We're sending two North American professional players to the In-Cup, and four decided that they have enough time to be able to go if they can qualify. That's Ryan Lee, Michael Chen, Alexander G, and Minjiu Jiang. So the first round was yesterday. It was Ryan versus Alex. Ryan won that game, and Michael versus Minjiu, and Michael won that game. And so today we're watching an upper bracket final and a lower bracket. I don't know. Did you check any of the games yesterday, Taylor? Did you get a chance to see any of them?
No.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I did get a chance to see them. They were actually pretty high quality games in comparison to the last qualifiers. I thought it looked cleaner in general. And I'm excited to take a look at the games that we have going on today. How about we hop right in and start talking about maybe the game between Alexander Chi and Minjiu Zhang. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. So far they've played about 20 moves. This game is in the lower bracket. So what that means is the winner of this game will play in the final to qualify for the In Cup, and the loser is out of the tournament. So, of course, it's an important game. All the other games are important too. If they get into the In Cup, there's a prize to be able to go, and also you get to actually play very strong players in the World Championship over the board. It's lots of fun. Minjiu plays high approach. Alexander Chi decided to attach underneath. This is a very common Joseki, and then Minjiu decided to play away. Now, this whole thing, it used to be very common before AI, right?
Yeah.
I think, if I remember right, the idea was that it was a probe of sorts. So if white would answer like this, then you can change how you're going to play with respect to these stones depending on white's answer. So I think in this case, it was popular to play Tiger's Mouth. You'd expect your opponent to answer and then play here. So the idea was that if you would switch the order of this, if Black, for example, had played this one first and played here, and then at some later date, Black would approach here, that white would be happy to play a large knight. So to potentially take away the base of Black. Is that right? Do you know any more than me about about this old Fuseki stuff from before AI?
I kind of forgot how people played before
Fair
AI.
enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's a very old school idea, basically. This one, this used to be much more popular, and nowadays it's less popular because AI believes that this cut that Alex played is strong. Right?
Yeah.
Usually, people aren't really allowing this these days, but means you allowed it anyway. And he just played away again. A lot of the time, when I see people allow this, they extend, right, and then continue to play some variation like this. Somehow take care of your stones. Just playing away instead. I guess it's fine, right?
Yeah.
take a double approach.
I feel like if like Black continues to play, then White will get to play back.
Right. If Black would get too bogged down over here, it's annoying to allow White to gain stuff for free in this area and then also get to respond here.
Like compared to the previous variation of White, just compared to that, it's obvious that.
Yeah. White has more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. So that's why I guess to make sense of it, you should be playing away here. And Alex should be answering. Because, of course, if Alex plays... I mean, this is a big move over here to play another move, but this enclosure is very powerful when you get both low approaches and then also you cap the white stone at d4.
Yeah.
I should put a sad face on it if I could. So attach, extend, and attach across here. This move is the most popular when white can't cut because this ladder doesn't work. So if this ladder worked and white got to play here, it would be great. But in this variation, Black would just run out. So white can't cut like this. There's no way to continue it up after black just connects there. And that's why white is doing some other way. And black, interestingly, took his base on the left side first. It's a loose move like this. I was kind of expecting to see a more
aggressive move.
Aggressive move, a more active move. Like either you would save this right away, or that you would play like some move on the bottom side. I don't know exactly where.
Yeah.
Play. This one, it's obviously okay. It's not going to break the game or anything like that. I don't know. How do you want to continue as white?
Now?
Yeah.
I think white will go like to maybe J3 or G4.
Yeah. Reasonable. There's all sorts of options, right? This kind of variation. There's you can fight however you want, basically.
Yeah.
As long as it's is making sense. Wow, Alex played attach. Yeah, I would also have played some move on the bottom side, but this should be fine.
Yeah.
The idea. So in general, when people attach here, this one was never played before AI very often, right? But it's played pretty often after AI because we basically don't believe in the idea of approaching from the strong side of the 3-4 anymore. If white can like force black to take an enclosure, nowadays we're just sort of believing that this stone is too close to the black thickness, and it doesn't really like make sense to play on the bottom side like that. So if you do want to play against your opponent's 3-4 on their strong side, then attaching is the common move after AI, because your opponent usually will play the Hane to take the corner, and then you can play this variation where white makes some sort of position on the bottom side. And you can argue it's like slightly inefficient for white, but it's not a big deal, and the direction is what Alex wanted. Right?
Yeah.
So he did all that, and then he played the pincer originally. So it seems to make sense, right? It's the same idea as the pincer here, but he just sort of committed to the bottom side first.
Yeah.
Oh. Mm-hmm. To me, I already feel a little uncomfortable as black. Do you feel uncomfortable as well, or am I panicking too much?
Yeah, because I feel that like white is more stronger in the bottom side, and white also have a like kind of a territory on the left up side.
Yeah, over there, it's already a good position over there, and then also white is getting something, and black's positions are very low. They're all just sort of solid. It doesn't seem like black has that much. So I kind of expected black to do something active on the bottom side here. What, I don't know, maybe a counter invasion, something like this comes to mind for me.
I'm thinking about like playing at the G4.
Yeah, G4 also very, very reasonable. If you play like this, then black is mostly just trying to say, I'm going to run my group out, right? And then white has to worry about the cut there and the groups over there. And black will just try to leave pressure on white in all the areas nearby. It can be kind of hard to answer sometimes. Maybe white starts with jump here, jump, some variation like this. I don't know exactly how to play. It could be a fight.
Yeah.
So I think Minjiu will think for a while here, because G4 is also kind of committal. You don't want to have to take care of those stones if it feels like it's going to be too heavy and you're giving white something here. So he decided actually to immediately invade. He didn't think at all. Well, I mean, he was thinking the whole time. But just as I was saying, he's going to think that he plays a move. How dare he? This one is talking about the push here, right? It's trying to seal in those 3 white stones. Wait, it blocks that. Needs to make sense.
I think maybe like they'll like push for a few, maybe push it now and then go to J5.
Yeah, makes sense.
Maybe
I would be choosing between like these two, right? As directions for white to go from here. It's kind of tough.
Or I'm thinking about, can black do p7?
Yeah. This one is like asking White if they have the time to cut right now, right? Because they're kind of weak on the bottom side at the moment. It could be getting in some danger if they try. And if they don't try, if they play on the outside like this, then black is very satisfied to get up to the 5th line and start
Yeah.
trying to take a very big territory. Yeah, I think this is the most combative move for sure.
Yeah.
Do you have an exact plan though for white cut? I would cut, I think.
And then I think black will play O7, and then
It's like a little annoying to answer these two.
yeah,
Right?
and then white has 2 parts. Black also have 3 or 2 parts, and
Right. Somehow like white will run out and then it's that group and that group. I guess I'll
yeah,
better them. These two against these black and then maybe this one too, but maybe that white 2-1 too. It's complicated.
yeah, complicated.
Yeah. Could be an interesting fight. This could be interesting. But black didn't do it. He just played Q7. So this is like the first move that we were thinking of when we push. It's sort of like white's plan, right? It was I get to push a few times and you just have to answer on the 4th line. Black's like
Yeah.
not unhappy to get 4th line territory, but he's not winning either.
But in this case, white can get the J5 point and enclose that stone.
Yeah, whether this stone will die or not is a big deal. If that stone is just
Yeah.
like dead because we got to play here, it's really annoying for black. Probably he'll be jumping out relatively normally here, right?
Yeah. And then I think white will just continue pushing.
Surely then we'll see Hane, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, maybe double Hane? No. Maybe just extend?
Maybe.
I don't know. So this is going to be a fight where this black A and that white B are both trying to run to the center and sort of get on top of each other.
Yeah. I think in this kind of fight, white can push the left side of black to make white stronger, but now the black will gain territory in the right side. And on the other
Right.
hand, if black want to get territory in the right side, black will have to think about how it will deal with the 2 stones.
Right, right. So it's like basically the winner of this fight will be decided by how well that those stones are saved, are going to be completely healthy from here. If black like saves them and then forces white to push a bunch and give him the whole right side territory, black could be doing very well.
Yeah.
But if this is all that black gets right now and then white sort of settles it, then white has already a lot of potential territory here that should be doing well in the game.
Yeah.
So in the game itself, we actually saw black 2 space instead of 1 space. So I was just sort of talking casually, like 1 space is the most normal move. But Minjiu did not feel very casual. He was trying to run out very quickly.
I'm thinking about, instead of white doing pushing, can white do like 08?
Yeah, it feels more natural to try to Knight's move out if you can, right?
Yeah.
So to not give black this kind of very nice Hane, if possible. Surely when you push, then black Hane is in the game, and then white thought maybe this is still playable. But I agree, this feels like the more natural move, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to play as black. I guess you just jump, maybe?
Maybe.
In the game, this is the more tactical variation, the more reading intensive fight. So Alex is saying, you definitely don't dare to cut me right now. I don't know exactly what the variation is, but this seems like it would be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks crazy. But
It's not actually that clear to me what white should do against this cut. There's a
Yeah,
few
but
options.
it still looks crazy. But like, white can try to do connection on the bottom side, I guess.
Yeah, something like that. I
Hmm. Yeah.
maybe we play like a couple times and try to net or exchange something first
Hmm.
and try to net.
I think in that case,
Doesn't really work.
it doesn't work.
Yeah,
Or
I
maybe
was
white
thinking to
do.
exchange something like here, make this full squeeze and then come.
I don't think that's good for white because black do gain a lot of territory on the right side.
This is exactly the kind of thing I was talking about earlier, where black got so much from the right, and that's how it could be successful over here. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Hmm.
Wait, was this the game? This is the game. So Alex, like us, thought this was crazy, but
Hmm.
Minjiu couldn't find white's actual move against it.
Yeah.
Like me. So,
I think Alex will take a long time to think.
yeah. There's many different ways that you can try. Like I was just doing the very brute force one with A first, but you can play other moves first. You can play on the outside first. You can play this extend here, and then you sort of are asking black to save that, and then you can save the group itself underneath. This might work.
Yeah.
It might be effective. I think we can give Alex some time. He's definitely not going to play the next move in the next move.
Maybe
Surely.
we can go to the other game.
So let's check out Ryan Lee versus Michael Chen, the upper bracket game. So they've got a pretty interesting position going on. This game, the winner qualifies for the In Cup, and the loser has to play the winner of the lower bracket game in round 3 to get a second chance at qualifying. The North American second seed. They played this Chiseki. So first of all, actually, I kind of glossed over it, but Michael Chen played the 2-space after playing kick. This is a pretty rare variation.
Yeah,
I mean, we see it sometimes, but this is the much more normal one. Normally, players who kick, they like to take a very solid position in the corner and have some territory and try to play the rest of the game. This one says white wants more territory, but leaves some weaknesses behind in the shape. So there's a chance that black may target that later, but there's nothing really special to do right now. So black just decided to enclose his bottom right corner. We have a question in the chat. Why other NA pros don't participate in the qualifiers for Asian tournaments? So if you qualify for the Asian tournaments, like the In Cup, then you have to actually go as well. And some people are busy; they have jobs, and they don't have the time to be able to actually follow up and go to the tournament, even if they would win the qualifier. So they just decide not to play the qualifier in the first place. Kevin Yang, I don't know exactly what he's doing these days, but he didn't respond to any of these invitations for the qualifiers. He chose not to participate, so he must be doing something else. He's busy. Anyway, in the game, we then saw this attach. Super popular AI variation. This has all been seen many times before. Very, very popular. And the result is that black gets the corner, and white is going to save this group on the side while he has just these 4 stones sort of in the center. So black will save his 2 stones, white saves his group over there, and then Ryan chose to play an enclosure in the upper right. It's kind of interesting. Normally I see another move, but I guess it makes sense in this state to play away from the black shape right now. And white chose to attach. It makes sense. It's a bit of a surprise move for me. I wouldn't really have thought to play here. But Michael Chen is sort of thinking that these two are kind of like Miai, not really. It's like if black plays here, it's helping white shape out. The white is very happy to be running out like that. And if black plays on the outside, then eventually this connection between the black stones is not very solid. So Michael is just sort of going to wait for his chance to strike there. And Ryan just played away again. He
It's
didn't even
quite
bother to try.
surprising to
Yeah.
play away for me.
Yeah, for me too. It feels like you want to play this move after you force your opponent
Yeah.
to answer. Because now if they
Yeah.
just block again, it becomes an empty triangle. If they play here, then you can kind of take some nice shape.
Yeah, and then the two group of white are not like totally healthy.
Right. Playing away, I guess it means that he thought there's no good follow-up for white here.
Yeah.
Sure.
But then like white can be in good shape.
Right.
Here.
So first of all, my first reading is actually this wedge, which just doesn't work, amusingly.
Yeah.
My bad. And then if white plays here, then if black wants to save those two stones, he has to play like this, which feels like it's bad shape, but I guess there is still also some weaknesses left in white shape over there, and maybe this is not that bad after all for black. So maybe white really doesn't have any threat in this area. That could play away.
Yeah, that's also true.
So I just played away too. They're just gonna leave that there. Everyone is kind of confused about the right side, but just no one plays. And then we see this, and then the attach here. This also was like a Joseki that was popular before AI, right?
Yeah.
Or is it after AI? It's still just like a
AI?
Yeah, before AI, I think so. And what is the main point? Black usually does not answer R15, right? Because then it's this? Was this the main point? Or was it?
I think it is.
Is this one? And then
yeah.
Let me give you control. I don't know.
I don't know either. It feels like this, but maybe like this. Yeah,
so
I think if black do connect this one, then white is in good shape. So that's why white want to do this move.
Right.
This move.
And that's why black resisted game.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the game. It's an exciting variation. I'll take control back. So after that plays on after black played on the outside, it basically left some weaknesses in the corner, but it's hard to use them right away. If white would directly descend, then black could block on the outside, and black would be pretty clean overall. So white was trying to sort of make a bigger issue out of it by playing here, and if black would answer again in the corner, then it feels like the weaknesses increased. Even if white just does this, it's probably already a good variation for white.
Yeah.
So that's why black fought back again, and Ryan is basically taking a sort of flexible stance where originally this was his corner, but he's going to play on the outside if Michael is going to try to squeeze him in. He doesn't want to just accept every squeeze possible that Michael could throw at him, but to fight back actively as possible, and try to make it very difficult for Michael to really accomplish something here. So Michael can churn, and then if he extends here, then this is a threat to Hane. So Ryan is going to do something on the inside there. But actually, if he does that, it seems like white may get captured in the middle.
Yeah,
here.
I don't think white is good in this variation.
Right. If white tries to attach out and save, then I think here already this is very annoying. If white has to answer like this, black will probably be able to capture either these two stones or these stones with some like aggressive moves.
I think it will be more clear to black the second move of black to be S18, just extend.
Here. even
not,
oh
not
not that one. Sorry.
like the second,
Here.
like just extend. Yeah.
Yeah. So to not give that a 16, that's correct. That this is more clear, and white would be super dead. Not even a chance. The other way it's probably still good, but this is easier for sure.
Yeah.
So white is going to try to mess around to save these stones or basically handle this Aji the best that he can. I've seen in a similar position, I've seen this move first. So yeah, Michael plays it. Seems like it's a good move in this board. And Ryan chose to answer this way. So now if we have a similar variation like this, if black plays here, white could try to play some kind of connection. Maybe this one or maybe even here. It's possible.
Maybe,
no, it's not. Where is it?
Yeah, but I think that's basically the same as just extending at first. Like, you can achieve the same shape if you just extend it. Yeah, I'm just saying that if white plays here, it's like the same as white doing this.
Right. So, yeah, Michael wants to get better than just that. So he tried to attach and make something actually active happen. Oh, this is going to be exciting as well. Basically, if Ryan can capture this white, then he's going to be doing really well. But it's not that easy to capture everything. And if white manages to capture back the corner and Ryan doesn't, like, his attack kind of evaporates, then white will have a huge advantage.
Yeah.
So right now, Ryan is choosing between Hane and Extend after this S14 exchange was made. At least I think that's what he's choosing between, right?
Yeah.
So he chooses Extend. Seems to make sense. Wow. It's very crazy.
I think white is thinking about R15 or S15.
Yeah. It's a tough decision. If you play here, it's like much easier to run to the side, but you let black capture this stone in Sente.
Yeah.
It feels very, very painful to just have to connect something like 3 afterwards, even though probably from here you can clamp.
I think white can connect, but black can do the N17 move.
Yeah, come back and chase these 2 stones, and white is going to be in big trouble here. Where this cut does not allow white to run if black manages to capture that stone. So it's pretty important to play here as well. It feels very powerful to keep those 4 stones short of liberties, to keep that cut alive. All that stuff. But then black can play this Hane. Oh, it's
quite complicated.
If white connects here, then black can't easily turn in the corner. This white cut should be powerful. So now if black tries to save this 1 stone, you can see a variation like this, where white captures the 4 stones in the center. That's not really playable. Black has to basically come back to fix somehow. And then white will be able to come back into the corner to play S17. And we get a capture race in the corner. If black plays... Let's see.
Black will extend.
If black extends, and then here, and then tries to eat this, is this going to work for black?
I feel that it's working, but I feel like maybe it will work.
This is my feeling as well. This is a very loose position, right? It's so tough to be confident. Oh, it's quite crazy. There's also other moves. Black could try to play T16 first, which lets white play here. Of course, if white would not Hane and just plays here, then black has 4 liberties and white has 3. So this is not a variation you have to read.
But then there might be a code here.
So this is the code that Taylor is talking about, I think, and yeah, this code is interesting. So if basically black is going to take this code right away, and then white is going to use as co-threat something, I think, locally, right? I think you have to do something, but it's kind of hard.
Maybe
I could try like this co-threat.
Yeah, that's not valid.
Maybe we should extend it. But this is a common co-threat in that shape.
Yeah.
And then black has locally
Black
can
has-
play this move as co-threat. Right?
Yeah. And then white need another one, but
actually you probably shouldn't do that, because right now if white wins the ko, white actually can't immediately win the ko, right?
yeah.
So this is currently a one-step ko.
Play outside.
Right. Black is more likely to do some random move like this, some strong move, and this ko seems very, very difficult for white to play. So I think,
yeah,
honestly, Ryan would be doing well if he saw that variation. I don't know what white could really do differently here. Very hard.
I feel like it's kind of difficult for white now.
Yeah, it feels like this S14 thing was maybe a bit too aggressive in the end. Like maybe what we should have done once we saw Q14 and black was very thick is we should have just like done a very passive way to try to save our group underneath. This way, black and Hane, you extend. Is that locally alive or not? I think it's locally alive.
I think it's alive, but black is very strong outside, and then white has two groups that's not very healthy now.
Right.
I guess. So I think that's why white don't want to do that.
Yeah. From here, if white just has to like turn, then it does feel very cumbersome to have to continue to run this out and probably sacrifice that along the way. I mean, just hard. But if the game is just going to collapse, that's not good, of course.
Yeah.
It's very interesting and exciting. Are there any other moves that Ryan is considering here? Like maybe he wants to see if he can jump here or something like that? It seems like Hane must be the only move.
I think the Hane is like kind of only move.
I think Hane, we're not gonna see a crazy counterattack like this because just are too short of liberties. We have to see the answer, and then Hane must be the strongest if you can do that. I don't know about 3 being here, or whatever, but the reason why I want to play here is so that this clamp is not gonna work. Of course. Here, I'm a little nervous that this kind of stuff will give white co-threats.
Okay, I take control for a while now.
Yeah.
I think maybe if white do this, can white like if can do something like this, and then maybe white is thinking about things like this. Wait, where is it? Yeah.
So many variations. Sorry.
Okay, if white do this, and then if black answers outside, then white might be able to. Then black is not connected now.
It should be a better fight for white. Right?
Yeah, and then if white, I think white can do this move. And if then in this case, white is enclosing black to this corner, and then I think that's much more better for white.
Yeah, this is the sacrifice white wanted the whole time. If you could get it.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I guess maybe black is thinking about these kind of things, and if white can still enclose black in this corner, and I think white can be satisfied for this variation.
It's probably the best he can go for, at least, right?
Yeah.
Compared to those other ones. So maybe then that's why Ryan is taking the time to think, consider whether when he comes back to the real game, whether he should like stop White from doing this kind of cut sacrifice.
Yeah.
He has paused for quite a while here, longer than you'd expect from someone who's just going to play this move. He must be thinking about something like this.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we'll switch back to the other game. Let them figure this fight out. And in the meantime, we can go check out what Alex and Minjiu are doing. It seems there was a very large sacrifice.
Yeah.
Let's see how that happened. It was Atari, connect.
That's quite straightforward.
This one was pretty easy to read. I think I think we could picture that all the way from here. It wasn't so hard. But my judgment was that would not be good for White. I didn't feel very confident like going for that kind of variation. It feels, I mean, obviously Black couldn't deviate at any moment here. It feels like Black is very satisfied to have gotten the additional territory there, the route underneath there, the like impermanent, like absolute permanent, perfect strength in the bottom right corner. But I guess White is saying
White
this is doing something.
Also have a big potential down here.
Yeah. It could be a trade. It's more reasonable than I thought when I was when I was originally just looking.
Yeah. And I guess in this way, White can avoid like too complicated fights.
Yeah, that's true. Alex is a player who in general likes to play relatively thick thick styles, and he'd rather have a wall than a crazy fight with like equivalent value to a wall. So he's hoping, I think, that Minjiu will fight him in this area and that he can use that wall. So Minjiu just decided to take the time to come back to save that stone at C14 now. And Alex invaded the 3-3. So I always get confused about this kind of shape when the left side and the top side don't matter very much. So if those areas were important, it would be very easy to play here, and White would be happy if you could like pincer these two stones next or something like that. And similarly, it would be easy for Black to play a move over there. Black would have played a variation that would have gotten Sente for him. If Black was very excited to like ladder that stone and capture it and like come back to pincer here, but nothing matters in that area. It's not like you'll ever make a very big territory by swinging that local situation in your favor. Right?
Yeah.
So then the question is, how are they going to play when they eventually do play there? I always get confused in my game. I have never played that kind of situation correctly in my life. The point of weakness for me. So eventually Alex just decided to go and save the stone. I mean, it's fine. It's fine, right?
Yeah. I think if in the future White can manage to like pushing the left side of the Black stones and then like enclose it, then White will have a like big potential in the middle.
Right. White is dreaming to press all of that down to make some fantastic variation. So when Black plays here, this is exactly what White is hoping for. Exactly. Bang, bang. Yeah. All sorts of presses. He wants to see this, and then this, and then this. Like
that's the ideal variation.
The absolute dream for White here.
Yeah.
And then you play some random move, like this one, and you say that's all yours. Of course, Minjiu doesn't like that. So
yeah,
you're gonna stop it at some point.
White is very strong here, so it will be like more difficult fight for Black.
Right. White chose to play the Hane first. For me, I always like when my opponent gives me the chance to try to split their groups to go down like this.
Yeah.
Maybe this Hane is annoying. You have to answer somehow.
Yeah. But I mean, the Hane, if white took the Hane, it is also annoying for black because the shape is not very good for
Right.
black.
It's not like black can continue back this way comfortably at all. There's this Hane often later still, and you
Yeah.
don't even have to take that. If you just take this, it's already good.
Then white can still enclose black.
Yeah. So black chose to play the Tiger's Mouth first, which leaves white an additional potential forcing move later here. That enclosure in this area is already quite strong. But even if he got this move, then he would still want to spend another move in Gote. So he just chooses to play his Gote move here first, which I think makes sense. It leaves the chance that you could push and cut some stuff like that later. So in my opinion, Alex played well here. I think he's gotten a good variation on the left side. Wow.
Yeah.
So
I think black
fights.
cannot like let white to have all those territories. Like black might be thinking about using the cut like at d5 to do something.
Yeah, hopefully here we're going to be like pressing that the white group on both sides somehow, like actually making something actionable happen. It seems a little difficult to use off the rip.
I mean, maybe not directly do the cut, but maybe like putting stones at maybe h5 and then telling white that I'm going to cut.
Right.
Threatening white.
So like we try to build a potential space in this area to handle ourselves, and then try to ask to get out and try to cut and try to add all of white's problems together and make them a real issue in the end. Something like wedge here, is it possible?
I'm still thinking about it.
It's a little difficult to use if white plays like here.
Or maybe
better.
Or maybe directly do 8 instead of directly do g6 without doing 4, 5, 6, 7.
Move. You want to play here right away? Maybe.
Yeah.
Here, ideally, we get a variation like this, and then we can bully wait around a bit somehow. Yeah, we should stick here, right? And there's all sorts of ways to continue. Anyway, simple variation is just to squeeze and then try to run. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we can try to handle things like that. In the game, Alex exchanged a time Suji once and then he played here.
Well, they're already in Byoyomi?
I don't think so. I think they still have plenty of time at the moment. But that exchange, often you take that when you think I'm gonna need really big co-threats in a fight, maybe.
Yeah,
right?
True.
So he's just once he sees the fight break out, he plays R18, and then it's never really the bad exchange because in endgame locally, that's what you want to do. If you play locally, you still want to play that move. There's nothing that's being lost unless you are going to play a very small co as your first co, and the R18 itself would be a co threat.
Yeah.
So this is sort of anticipating that there's a huge thing happening. What do you think, Alex? Do you think Alex is going to let there be a big co to kill the Black Dragon or something like that?
I mean, I don't know, but preparing for a co is never bad.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, I understand what you're doing with this kind of stuff, but I always get very scared that my opponent will just lock me in and dare me to do something, and that I won't find anything. You know?
That's true.
It's very scary.
Yeah. If you play badly here, the whole game is just over.
Yeah, yeah. So a lot of the time when I play this kind of position, if I don't see anything direct, I'll just be like, you do it. Like, you play a move. Just allow white to take, whatever they were getting. And actually, if white plays it too, it feels a little passive. So maybe with this, I don't know, can you get this in Sente? If you can just get that much endgame, I'd feel
Oh
satisfied
yeah.
already.
Also, but I mean, if white is going to defend, it might just defend the cutting, so that will not be a sente.
Ah, right. So to play something like this.
Yeah, maybe.
In terms of points, a lot of the time when people make decisions like this, especially when they have time on their clock, they count the board, right? And they figure out, if I just let my opponent
Yeah.
get all that, can I still win? Right? Because it becomes a pretty simple game often when you just, that's the fight, let's not fight, let's just play straight through to the end game from here. And no one tends to make very big mistakes. At the moment, I feel like black is in a good position. I don't know if you have the same. I did a very quick and rough count, but I mean, just in general, after this happened, it felt like black did a victory over there, and I don't think what white did on the left was as good. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I feel like it will depends on what will happen in the upper board. Like
Yeah,
white is
for sure.
definitely very strong in the middle, so if white can do something, use that strength to do something in the upper board.
Right. If white like goes on after black plays a reducing move like this, and then kills the reducing move too, then it would not be good for black.
Yeah, but black
Yeah.
also have a chance to gain a lot of territory on the upper board.
Yeah, for sure. So the game is not really that simple yet.
Yeah.
We'll see how Minjiu decides to handle these stones on the bottom. I think this H3, I mean, I don't know. Personally, I would call that too early of an exchange, because a lot of the time it's just more comfortable to play like this, and a lot of the time you're going to play from this side to reduce. And if you do that, um, this exchange where white got J2 already is really hurting your mojo, is hurting your potential to continue to reduce this. In the game, if he tries to do that, then he doesn't. His next move is not really threatening anything because J2
Yeah.
already blocked that territory.
But
So
I
he has
guess
to like kind of do
for
something with
black,
it.
maybe black still want to do something here.
Yeah, maybe we'll see this kind of harsh variation.
Yeah. And I feel that black plays very like protective, seeing that the black plays that cut before.
Right, right. Yeah, it's um, Minjiu is definitely an active player. He doesn't he doesn't tend to just bide his time
Yeah.
in situations where he doesn't have to, or he doesn't think it's necessary. Anyway, this is definitely Mingju has thought for a while. He's definitely still planning. He's still plotting. It's
Yeah.
there's some scheming going on. I think it's a good time to hop back to the game between Ryan and Michael, where they continued that fight in an unexpected way. On the upper left here. So Ryan started with his cut, which we didn't even talk about.
Yeah.
This one, I guess it means, compared to this one, if Michael was going to cut here, and then do this cut kind of sacrifice that you were talking about, the difference is when you cut here, that move is, you haven't wasted a stone at S13, so this cut is just not a sacrifice that's possible. However, the bonus is for white is that he gets to capture a stone. So Ryan manages to surround the outside, but Michael Chen's shape in the corner is significantly better than if it would just be a capture at S15, at least for most purposes.
Yeah.
That was an interesting way to go about this from Ryan. Michael played this one peep, and this is where we are at the moment. They're spending a long time reading this, understandably.
Well, I mean, maybe black is trying to like do something on the like the middle group in the white, those 5 stone, 5 stone.
Yeah, it's it's gonna be very dangerous for those if white has to spend another move on the top. So this move is gonna locally capture those 3 white stones, but they have 5 liberties still. So that means black will be able to play here, and the white stones on the top side have only 4 liberties, so he can't even go and win the liberty race right away. He's just gonna lose it, which is so it's really, really sad to have to play a move like this. But if he plays this one instead, then white can suffer this Hane, and then locally, this is sometimes the Seki. I don't know, it's a little difficult.
Or like both living. Is that called?
Yeah. That's Seki. That would be Seki.
Yeah,
it's like,
but the 2 stones on the white is still dangerous. If
right.
needs to play a move at Q19.
So at this moment, if white would play away, then black can connect and then play here and capture the right side. So white has to fill a liberty immediately, like this. Then locally, this is mutual life after black plays here and white answers. White doesn't have to answer. White could play here instead, make it a co rather than mutual life. But if it would go like this, then black would be super winning at this moment.
Yeah.
It's a mutual life where white is going to have to like cry to make anything happen from here. So locally, if you want to save that inside, you should be playing here, but it's just not really playable. So that's why Michael Chen, took a long time and then eventually has decided to play away entirely and play with his 2 stones at the top. I think this is planning to sacrifice those stones on the side a lot of the time.
But now white is not entirely enclosing the black
right
corner.
So the difference is that previous variation which we saw where black played here and then white made this cut and a sacrifice. So in this variation, white was relatively more playable because this wall on the outside, it only has the 1 hole and the 1 cut. And overall, that's pretty strong. So white could imagine going on offense against these stones. Continued game. But in the actual game, this wall has so many cuts and holes, it's hard to even mention them all. Like there's a hole there, hole there, hole there. And it's like not even individual cuts, just flat out holes. So the corner has become black's again. White has gotten something on the outside for his treble, but it really doesn't feel like it was good enough for white. It seems like black won this fight, though.
Yeah, but game still continues. I guess it's better to like make the game continue instead of game over.
Yeah, exactly. White wasn't broken in the end, so he eventually realized if he would try to save these stones, he was just going to be broken. Like regardless whether he could save them or not, the game was not possible to like change the story and shake the board and come back somehow. So instead, playing this way, black's territory is nice. He captured 7 white stones, but it's not that much, and white can still try to make a comeback by enlarging the top side by handling this area and continuing to play the game. So I don't know whether you know very much about these players, but Ryan is the favorite as of recently to win these qualifiers, and between these 2 players, he's been winning the recent games that they've played. When you play a stronger player and you get in a bad position from the beginning, how do you try to continue? Like, what do you think about to try to stage a comeback against someone who you know is better than you?
That's very difficult for me.
I've never done it. Like literally not. I think ever in my life as a decent player have I managed to stage a comeback against a good player.
Yeah, because you know that your opponent is stronger than you, and then you're in a disadvantage. It's very hard to.
Right. It's like it feels like whatever trick that you try to lay, they can see that trick too, right?
Yeah.
But whatever trick they try to lay, you can't see it necessarily.
Sad.
It was very, very painful kind of game to play. At the moment, I mean, Michael Chen is just playing sort of a normal Joseki here. It seems like he may consider playing a flying knife like
Oh
this.
yeah, that's complicated.
Yeah. Some people say that complicated Joseki are like equalizers between
Oh
strengths.
yeah.
So like if Michael Chen has studied this more than Ryan, then he may feel more comfortable. He may be able to stage a comeback. But in this position, it seems a little difficult to play when Black has an additional stone there that will usually hurt
Yeah.
White's chances in this variation, right?
Yeah. I think maybe White want to like find chances by playing the complicated
Right.
variation.
So he's gone for that. He's gone for this Hane, and we're gonna see that complicated variation. I think it's pretty difficult. Okay, Ryan does choose to play just here. He backs off. I was gonna say it's pretty difficult to find players who are willing to play B15 here, because usually we're thinking like if White can block a corner on both sides and get actual influence towards both sides, usually the territory in the corner isn't really worth it.
Yeah, but I guess Black want to get a Sente and then put the stone on the up board.
Ah, right. So if I don't know exactly how the variation goes here, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's say, can Black just Tanuki right away? Is it fine?
Yeah, I'm also thinking about stones like here.
Yeah. In any case, if Black can effectively pincer those stones and show that they're not even just less than a wall, but actually a weak group, then White's dreams of staging a comeback in this game will quickly evaporate. He basically cannot make territory if there's not going to be anything aggressive on the top side. Cannot make enough territory to match what Black has at least.
Yeah, and I think another reason Black plays B15 is that in normal cases, now White enclosed the whole corner. White will have a potential on the like left bottom side, but now there are 3 stones here, Black stones here, so White cannot do much, gain too much territory here, and then Black can avoid the complicated variation.
Right, absolutely. I agree. This seems to make sense, and yeah, it's an interesting way of dodging the flying knife that I haven't seen very much recently. I like it by Ryan. So eventually we see Chen chose to play that solid connect, and Ryan has a decision. Sometimes you see players who play this Hane, so you're baiting this, and then you can live in the corner anyway, and then you can run. So this starts a fight where White feels like they have to answer here, and then if this Blackstone is strong enough, then this can be a powerful attack actually on the left side.
Yeah, I think this also is good for Black. Like,
yeah.
White is like not very strong for either groups.
Right. It seems like White may have more potential to make fights, though, to make gains in this kind of variation, right? Like if he can save those 4 stones nicely and then handle the top side nicely, I think he has some chances still in this game, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. We should switch back, by the way, to the Minjiu game, because he eventually chose how he wanted to play, and he played your variation on the bottom side here. He played that exact attach, and Hane. So now I feel like we have license to properly try to read it. Try to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah.
Let's say it's just extend here first. What should Black be looking for? We cut right away?
Yeah.
So cut right away
in
is
this
forcing.
case, White cannot do the E2 because Black can catch those 3 stones, and then now Black can get the E2 point.
This is usually considered the vital point in the corner for this shape, as it reduces the weight area by so much, as well as it helps Black's area at the same time. But White really can't live locally after that, so he has to hope to capture race Black. He wants to settle this in his favor, but it does actually look pretty difficult for White to make a capture race like this work, even if Black is like.
I think it's also, White can White White can be alive by playing b2, but
I think black lives.
if black can be alive in this
Oh, it's a little
place,
tricky.
is black alive?
Maybe not, actually.
Maybe not.
There is some more tricks, aren't there? Where oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe if black play this move, and white can. Yeah, I think about black playing this move, like
the white plays
white can
b4.
be alive by playing this, but now this is a sente, and then black can be
Yes.
alive by this. But
Yes.
if white play this move, then white is also not alive. Then we need to compete, like count those liberties.
Seems good for black to me.
Yeah, seems good for black to me.
So we should just, I think, we should probably just guess that this kind of variation is going to be good for black in general.
Yeah. Then, maybe consider other moves for white.
So we could consider other moves for white from like back here, right? But I think it's a little difficult to play better than b2, right? Oh, sorry, I took the control back, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I suspect when I see that variation, I sort of suspect that this is going to be a playable fight for black. That white is going to have a hard time to continue if b2 is not really that effective, despite being able to live locally. I mean, white could continue to try with other moves to try to gain more liberties to try to erase the black, but it feels like it's more likely that this one is just overplay, and black is very like being able to make this cut and then also play the e2. Probably black has gotten enough strength that this is going to be an effective fight for black, right?
Yeah.
So instead, we should be looking for maybe a little bit more defensive moves for white at this moment. In the game, what? Alex played here. I don't know why he did that.
I think maybe white want to do a call here.
What? So white is exactly planning that black will block, and then he has this ko, and then he wants a massive ko threat.
Yeah.
So if black comes back here, then white could capture the whole corner, and this is probably playable for white, even though black breaks this whole thing because this is
but
such
this
a
is too huge.
Yeah. So if black would have to answer this one time, then white could come back here, and then he's trying to say black would have no co-threat. So, I mean, there kind of is something that I feel like you'd have to answer that.
You have
Maybe he just needs one more
have
co-threat.
other calls, yeah.
Yeah, so one more co-threat, and then here, at this moment, black has no co-threat. That's the dream, at least. Maybe it's even true.
Yeah. And in the game, I think that black goes to play at another place. I think black is thinking about, well, I cannot do the call now, but in the future, at some time, I can do the call. And if I need to like put a stone to defend that call, then black can like play at other points.
Right, absolutely. If white actually spends another move inside, this is successful for black, is the idea, because there is hardly any resources over here, and if you get enough resource to be worth a full move and some valuable area of the other parts of the board, then you can be very satisfied with that. So white sort of set up a kind of temporary trap, especially by exchanging q18. This loses a lot.
Yeah, these exchanges is very white.
It's painful. It gives black so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I support Minjiu's idea to be playing away at that moment and to say, okay, yeah, if I have a code there, then that's going to be great for me. I'll just do that. Alex
And
plays
I guess
here.
now white wants to gain territory in the middle, so that if white has a lot of stone in the middle, white may not be afraid of the call, so white don't need to
Yes.
spend another move there.
Yeah, exactly. So white plays here, thinking, hey, black, if you just answer there, and I get, some dream, whatever my dream is, then eventually here, I don't necessarily have to win the ko. I can play maybe just to
Mm,
connect, maybe a peep
maybe
here, and maybe like fight, something like this.
yeah,
There's probably better orders. Probably I blundered a couple times in that in that fight, but this is
or
the
maybe
idea.
yeah,
You're thinking like maybe here and back off like this.
yeah,
Leave the ko. Yeah. This is
beautiful.
probably without the telegraph blunder. So this variation would be like allowing black to come out however he wants. There's still a ko here. That doesn't matter so much because we're going to try to kill the whole thing. And if you have a lot of power over here, it may work. May be effective. Maybe you have to come back and make sure that we're safe there. But yeah, that's the dream that Wade is talking about when he plays here. He says, you say I owe another move here for a ko eventually, and I don't agree. That's what Alex is suddenly saying. He's saying, no, I won't play that ko actually. So it's kind of again contradictory to the Q18, but it is a powerful idea. It's putting black under some pressure again.
Yeah,
So black jumps. We didn't mention the exact shape here. This shape with respect to a large knight is very common post AI, right? I think
yeah,
before AI, a lot of the time people would play a shoulder hit if they wanted to press here, but nowadays we'd rather do this one. The shoulder hit, often they can counter press and fall back, and black is like, they have a lot of mobility up to the center still, so you didn't really restrict them very much. Whereas this one, if black responds, however they respond, they have less easy of a way to come into the center after your forcing move.
yeah,
And they have more weaknesses as well. So then the question is it still forcing? Of course, if you could play the further away move and it was definitely forcing, you'd be happy to. The threat is that you jump and that you try to split the black shape. So whether it is split, it generally is going to be split. So like in this variation, we can just break away the black. That's not really the question here. The question is often whether it's good to split, whether it's big enough to split compared to just other things that you can do. So when black jumped into the center, he said, hey, you can play here if you want. But then I think he was planning the clamp, where if white would descend, then now black can wedge like this. And if white captures everything, this is not really that effective. It's not that efficient shape for white to get a little bit more territory next to his already increased territory there. Black seems much more expansive.
yeah. I mean, white also gained a lot of territory on the left up corner. That's a huge.
There is a lot of territory gain when you split something like this,
Yeah,
and that is common for sure. But since there was so much potential territory in the center, black chose to disregard it. He thought this stuff is the more important area than that area, which might be
yeah.
true. Alex
And I
played
guess
this peep.
black is also trying to find like cold threats in these, trying to find
Yeah.
bigger cold threats, and white black can do something
He's still
at the
waiting for this
bottom.
area all the time.
Maybe.
Absolutely. So if he like invites a fight, then it's much more likely that a Ko-Aji somewhere else is going to work for him. In general.
Yeah.
But Alex played the peep first, and then he played here. So if he would have originally played here and then would peep, then maybe black would not answer anymore after that. So peep first is preparing this so that if black clamps, then now he can go down, and this wedge is not going to work in the same way. Before, Wade was getting bullied into just capturing that one stone. Now Wade is capturing everything in there. That like shift of the lines is definitely enough that this is good for Wade if the game would go like that. So black played away. Honestly, it feels like it was a successful variation by Alex if Minjiu just clamps and just like feels like White did a good job here.
Yeah.
Was there some other way for black to play?
Oh. I don't think so.
It's kind of tough. If you would just like back off here, then now of course white is going to cut, and white's shape is very strong. So this doesn't feel effective for black. And
Yeah.
here, clamp feels. I mean, it looks really bad because we're just inviting our opponent to split us, and we didn't really gain anything. But it's not that easy to play moves that gain more value locally. I think maybe black could have just Tanuki'd, it would be a bit better. But like if you would have just abstained from playing anything right now and played away first, maybe that's a little bit better. But it shouldn't be a big difference, honestly, compared to this. Anyway, he pushes a few times and he plays this Hane. To me, it feels a little early to play here. I don't know. It's okay, I guess. We see white play the Hane.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, I guess it's just an exchange. If white would play away entirely, then black plays here. It's definitely very big.
That's too big.
Yeah, that's too big. So white will respond, and then
maybe if black have this card, can black do something?
We're sort of hoping that this ko will be useful again in this variation. Like somehow I can combine it with something.
Yeah.
But it's a little awkward to use effectively. Wait, just to target here one time.
Yeah, we still have two big ko threads on the right up corner.
Yes. Yes. So I think Minjiu still has a weapon in this area. He can still activate that all the time. But for now, the game looks pretty good for white after that upper left sequence. I'm starting to feel a little bit more confident that Alex is doing well. But I think the game is still close.
Yeah.
M3 cut seems like minus points if it can't be used as the chat. So compared to just playing here, which black could have also tried to do, this one is going to be an endgame. So right now, this is unlikely to be forcing.
Yeah.
It would be a very big endgame. A lot of the time, if you played it in endgame, I think it's going to... in comparison between this and the game, you press white like a point or two deeper, and you get a point or two more. So we do lose a couple points by playing this variation, but what we gain is this Aji towards the center, which will probably be active. I don't know. I kind of agree that it's probably not good to cut first. Like we should have played some whatever move that you're gonna play. You play it before you cut. Wait for that to be useful. Anyway, this game they're gonna play a mid game for a long time, right? This doesn't look like it's gonna end anytime soon. So we'll let them play it out for a while, and in the meantime, let's go back over the upper bracket, Ryan versus Michael. So eventually, Michael chose to jump rather than Tiger's Mouth, which I think is probably the correct choice.
Yeah, like
this one is basically it's not encouraging white to play here. Like mine is kind of encouraging white to run out and start a fight. This one is more ready for that fight. I don't know exactly what the correct
now white can like play the instead of doing EF17, white can maybe do F13, and maybe that like or maybe E13.
Some crazy way.
Just
whatever they do, it's got to be better than this move, even if it's this or this or this or this or whatever. Whatever they do, they don't have to do this one.
Yeah. So that's why I choose to jump.
Yeah. So it makes sense. And what you lose by jumping is the chance that black can cut here. However, when black already lived in the corner, that's only territory. It has nothing to do with strength. So you can let black cut. This is not gonna lose globally for white if that happens. In fact, white is very happy to now get much better control in the top side and the center. So it's and so like F18 also you don't have to complain about seeing something like this in your game. You're very happy to get increased control over the top side in the stone there. So makes sense to just jump at f16 first, and then Ryan finally played that move on the top side that we were looking for.
Yeah.
And tries to attack. Oh, it's difficult for Michael. He plays this approaching move. I was expecting to see a move on the right side. I was expecting to see something like, I don't know. Can I say bump? Am I too crazy? It feels like bad shape.
White, it may be difficult for white to find a good shape at the right side, and also white may be afraid that, like, if I do this, then black can do the e15, and then black have like black stones on the everywhere. Yeah.
Right. It's scary. It's very scary. So he chose to play from this side to preemptively defend that group, and then hope to handle these stones better, right? After leaving them weak, which makes sense. And black played attach here. I think this is a good move from Ryan. I was expecting to see some sort of casual move, but if you just let your opponent link up like this, it feels like white saves pretty nicely. Like the one stone isn't that useful. So this one is not digging your heels down in a way that makes your own stones kind of heavy. So black would have something to lose if he plays like this. Still trying to run to the center, but also not letting white get that kind of nice connection on the top side.
Yeah.
And so white wedged. White was not happy to just play here.
Yeah, because then white is spending too many stones on this corner, which is inefficient.
Right. Here, even if black doesn't cut right away and just lets white connect, already I think black's shape is stronger than the other variation. It's already like stable, and I mean, basically white wants to fight because he was losing.
Yeah. White wants to find chances to fight.
So Atari underneath and then connect.
But now I guess black can catch these stones on the right side.
Yeah, this is sort of making a double threat where black can either play the A or B next.
Yeah.
So another elegant way to play from Ryan. So Michael tries to fix the left side with Atari, and Ryan just pushes.
Stones are very dangerous.
Yeah. You don't have to capture them small when you play this because you're threatening to capture them bigger. If white answers some way, then eventually you can come back here anyway. But for now, again, you would probably keep running out.
Yeah.
So then we saw Hane one time. I think that's just sort of a...
So now, like, white want to attack those 3 black stones since white is very strong on the upside.
Yeah. White got that, and that is power. And so white feels very powerful with all this. He doesn't want to make the game about whether he can save these stones because he can't. So you bide your time, you wait again, and try to attack for now. Yeah, this kind of variation gets played often, where people eventually get the idea that they can attack these stones, because this is a common Joseki, and then if you never play another move as black, then eventually sometime white will want to attack it, usually. White just takes the territory. So most professional players have like 10 variations of this sequence known by heart. And it's just like choosing which one that you want on the particular board. So another variation that we could have tried is to save from the side and allow black to capture this stone and try to take something big over here. But he probably just felt this is not enough.
That doesn't seem enough.
So he had to do something more vicious. He had to try to do something very, very aggressive. And so that's why we see this extend. He can't directly make anything happen with this, but maybe someday he could play here.
Yeah.
If white can connect this out, then this is going to be really powerful. Black isn't going to let that happen. Maybe black will play this sometime.
Yeah, the thing is that black is not totally alive in this shape, so it's for now black is not very dangerous, but maybe white is trying to find some chance.
Right. So at the moment, black cannot live locally, but he can run that way and run that way and run that, and he's free. But maybe that won't always be true. So white is just going to keep that in his back pocket and try to play around some chances that he can attack this black. That's what he's hoping will eventually happen. And for now, he switches back to handle that upper right group. This move technically connects, which is the best way to connect.
Yeah.
Black runs through the center. He was not, Ryan did not want to play here and just allow this white group to connect. If this white and that white can handle together, white only needs to pay like one debt. He only needs to make one group live, which is that whole group. And it's quite easy to do. But when black splits, black is making sure white needs to take care of that group and eventually that group sometime and gaining that initiative. But at the same time, he costs for his own group. So white will try to save his stones on the top side by counterattacking those black 4 stones. Seems like there might be some chance for white.
Yeah, but the shape of white is not very strong because black still can extend at edge 16.
Yeah.
And
we're probably going to see that. Oh, so this is the current shape in the game. So anytime if black wants, he can play here. That's going to be forcing if white plays in the center. Black will easily save on the top side when capture sets done. So if this is the weakness that anytime black can use, it makes it very difficult for white to be fully connected through the center here. But it seems he's almost doing it. At least there's reading to be done here. There's some kind of success for Michael.
I mean, white is not very strong, but black cannot find a direct way, easy way to attack those weaknesses.
Yes.
So I guess black will take some time here.
It feels very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Can black connect? And if white tries to connect, then cut and play some passive moves. Just
I guess
like here
white
and here.
will do the second move of white will play as the third move here. I think this is a better choice for white.
Even
because
though
now black needs to take a step to cut off this connection, but then white can do something like this. And outside here,
give you
like outside here, oh, I see. So now there's a ladder, but this is a ladder favorable for white. So that's why white do these moves. White
I see.
This kind. There's might be a ladder here, so now black doesn't seem to be good.
Crazy.
Yeah, and so black cannot cut off these stones directly.
Well planned by Michael. That was nice.
That's well planned. So maybe black have to think of other moves. I'm thinking about moves can maybe not this order. Like this. Because now I need to put a stone here, but then maybe black can kill these white stones. Maybe this. I'm not sure about this. Not sure.
It becomes some capture race that's pretty confusing.
It's definitely complicated. Or maybe black can. Which one is better? maybe something like this.
Hmm. It
Yeah.
seems Ryan just made a decision in the game. Okay. Aha, attach first.
Yeah.
It's like a concession, right? We're letting White play the first move in the center, and we're just going to capture those 2 stuns. It feels like Black didn't quite get everything that he wanted.
Mm.
But he should still be favored, even if White can play some move centrally and feel good about that. Still, Black has a lot of territory.
Yeah.
Okay, this game, definitely shaping up to be pretty interesting. I think Michael is doing a good job trying to come back against the top
Yeah.
player, but it won't be decided in the next couple moves. So we should go back and take a look at Alex versus Minjiu, who have played a bunch.
It seems to be quite exciting here. I don't know.
So Black, after this cut, he just played a reducing move in the center, and then Wade jumped. Wade is trying to say, I have enough territory. I'm going to just like break this territory and I'm going to be good.
Yeah.
But Black is still talking about this
Forcing
area on the bottom
White
side.
to, like Black is forcing White to take a step to defend that call.
Yeah. He's really trying to eye that up, and eventually Alex blinks. This is a game of chicken, you know? This is the defense that
I feel like there are like 2 different combats in 2 games. So in the game in Realms, it's like very directly combats, and in this game, it's more like, okay, I want to do this, and not directly. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. They're much more
like, I'm going
hand
to do
wavy.
this, and
Yeah,
you want
there's
to
something over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean it's necessarily a lower quality game, of course.
Yeah.
It's a looser game.
It's still very interesting to like see what Black wants to do and what White do in turn to like defend it, and what Black do.
Yeah, absolutely. So then we saw Minjiu sort of stop hand waving. This is a direct move again.
Yeah, that's
attached. Yeah.
Well, I think like because previously White takes the K18 move, so like the liberty of White is less now, so Black is thinking about doing something to take that advantage.
Great. So that's why Wade is feeling rather passive here. Doesn't want to end up in trouble. A lot of the time against this move, people want to play the Hane on the outside if they possibly can. But here, when Black runs out like this, Wade always wants to come back here anyway, and then maybe this 1-for-2 exchange is helping Black to be able to accomplish something serious on the top side. Even if he like starts with this move, maybe? I don't know how I want to start. Maybe I think I'm annoying myself.
Maybe like Black in this case, Black can do G16.
G16 first, and then you say, haha, I get to come back here, kind of thing. Huh? Oh, wait.
Wait. Huh? On G16, not this.
Ah, sorry, H16. I thought you said H16. So G16.
Yeah, and then E16. And then Black can save these. These are alive.
Yeah, maybe. So as long as Black can run this out, Wade is very annoyed to have to save that like underneath or something. Yeah. So anyway, Wade just decided to answer instead of fighting back, and then Black still tried to trigger something. and he thought this is gonna like work. So white cuts. This is very direct fighting suddenly.
Yeah.
And then white pushes here. So that allows black to play this one, but then white was planning to play a squeeze like this, I think. This would be a very sad variation for black if it went like that. So that's why we saw black just extend. Can't get squeezed like that. And then finally, white answers. For this to make sense, that cutting point at A has to value a lot for black from here, right?
Yeah.
He's sort of thrown in a bunch of stones to white's territory and made it bigger for now. So he's just getting back.
In the game, I'm not sure about these moves. Like in the game, black didn't cut it, and I'm not sure if black doesn't do anything and just do L17. Is it better now?
I'm pretty sure this was good for white.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a misread necessarily. Although he could have been thinking that white was not going to get this move, where if you just read white answering here right away, then it feels much better to do this stuff. You can aim at a ladder and have white respond again, and then you can play from top side. Maybe you can even play here, not sure.
I don't think...
But even if you play like this one, it should be.
Oh, yeah.
Or even here again. I'll give you control.
Yeah, but like the game, this is a very strong move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one punished black for sure, and then black doesn't really have. I don't think there's any way after white pushes there for black to make a meaningful squeeze.
Yeah.
At least it's not easy.
And I mean, in a game, compared to like black directly do this, I'm not sure. I think white is better in the game.
Yeah. This way, black can still hope to reduce from the outside and like get something while pushing white down to less points than he has in the game. So since white has all that territory for sure, and even like power, it's meant to be good for black.
I'm not sure. Like if black cuts, maybe white can go. Black wants to do something. Maybe want to do something like this, but I think like maybe white can do something like this, and then white can extend here, and black do not have enough liberties.
Yeah, it feels impossible to hem white in on the top side there. So there wasn't really enough power for black to be able to make this kind of fight.
Yeah.
If he do something on the side.
I don't think black cannot do. Black cannot do much here.
Yeah. So it feels like another sort of local victory for Alex.
Yeah.
Which may be why he then played this extremely passive looking move. This is so small, isn't it? I would always want to play here if I was playing.
Yeah.
I don't think, like, even if you told me that this move is the AI recommended move, I would probably still play here.
Maybe can black cut it if you play there? I'm not sure.
Here, and then black, like, what, cuts this way? And, like, tries to counterattack or something? I don't really understand.
Oh, no.
There's not really going to be anything. Yeah. Here, and then wedge or something is not effective, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe
so anyway,
want to play safely.
Yeah, the game is supposed to be good for white if he's playing this kind of move, where it just allows black to answer so nicely. I mean, if you pushed up through here, black may still want to answer, and then you just get a few more points for free if in comparison to the game. So Alex is definitely in I'm winning, let's just win the game kind of mode. Try not to have any funny business happen. And then he is kind of asking for a little bit of funny business on the side right away after that. I think this one is probably Sente. Would you say it's Sente?
I think it's Sente. Yeah.
Black chose to answer. If he had played away, so this move on the right side is really, really big. There's a few ways for White to try to make this work. Oh. It really feels like it's Sente, but I actually don't see anything that's a drawing push right now.
Why do not need to do much? Why just like exchange those things like
just be like, okay,
yeah, like because
strong.
why can gain territory here
because
like,
there's something in the center.
Capturing those 3 stones.
So it can make sense to just play here because you're like, well, I want to be able to use White's weaknesses and come to the center from this. But I feel like the right side is so big. Like White is definitely going to play the next move on the right side here.
Yeah.
And it feels like that was the biggest territory. Like personally, I would, if I didn't read anything, I would have fought like this. I would have tried to.
True. Yeah, I think maybe for black is not in advantage. Maybe it would be more naturally to want to play in the right side to seek chances.
Yeah. If White messes up trying to make some crazy thing, then you gain a lot.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. Anyway, in the game, White just took that territory, and then Minjiu plays a couple of forcing moves and plays this Hane. So he is still looking for using that cut someday. I think that
but if White can just connect that cut. If White wants.
At any time, White could just play here, and then there's no issue on that side. But maybe then there would be some issue over here where Black can cut over here and start. I don't know. Maybe save something. White just chose to cut in the game.
Yeah, I think that's also reasonable. Like.
Yeah, it'd be fine. Black Satari here is it feels nice when you're black to make that, and then this one also. Well, I don't know if this is directly that powerful. Okay, this is actually played in the game. I was a bit surprised to see that. I thought it was going to be here. And then you just let White connect.
Yeah.
If White connects here, it's actually still annoying because White would get cut from this side, and then there's a ladder. So if White has to answer somehow in the center, then this is actually going to be very tricky.
But why can't just like connect?
So yeah, White would just connect instead. White wouldn't play the powerful move, and that's why I wanted to play here. It felt like it. Oh, I got a nice exchange.
Yeah, but I think the issue for Black now is that Black maybe want to gain some territory in the middle, but if Black have some cuts in that variation, so it's difficult for Black to really gain a lot of territory here.
Yeah, even if he plays another move, then there's still an opening here, another move here, there's still an opening here. It's just doomed for sure to get the territory there. So fight instead, like this. But White can just Atari, and I didn't see anything. I didn't understand what Black was targeting.
Actually, I feel like in this case, I think Black is going to Atari at H12.
Yeah, I was thinking like this too.
Yeah, and then now we can see that Black have the territory in the middle.
So it managed to block the weakness there as well as connect these weaknesses here at the same time. So yeah, I actually can understand that. Maybe this is the stronger surround. However,
but I'm actually quite surprising that can I have control now?
Yeah, of course.
I thought like White will do this move so that if Black connects, White can just go here and then there's no territory in the middle. So I thought White will do this move, but maybe I'm wrong.
I see. I thought
okay.
Just naturally, when I see this move, I thought of just playing on the outside again, but maybe this is not. This is again not that powerful.
I don't think Black can do much here.
It doesn't make that much sense, yeah. Instead, in the game, Minjiu did the craziest possible variation. Run out here, and wait, Atari'd and just one time, and then came back to fix, which I think is good. Though I think a lot of players like to take the second Atari to get more liberties when they know they need liberties. But it's definitely incorrect to take that Atari before coming back, when you can just take that Atari later anyway. And actually, you're waiting for black to push you from that side. So there's no need to take that Atari right away. Instead, we force black to play on this side so that we can play here. It's basically the same variation where you Atari here first, except now black plays here, which black would not have played, I think, unless he needed to do that to try to get the best surround that he could.
Yeah.
So good abstaining from that Atari by white there, and then he just ran out, and he's getting liberties and trying to bust through as much as he can. We can do some counting here if you like. It seems like we're about to go to endgame. So either we can count it ourselves, or we can just ask how to go. Which would you like to do?
We can count ourselves.
All right, let's do it. It seems like it's still relatively close to me.
I feel like white is more.
I think white is leading, right? Just a bit.
Leading to white, yeah. I feel like both of them has around 90 points.
I didn't count very precisely, but my judgment, I thought that white was just like a couple points ahead. Not anything serious. So nothing, I think, that justifies how crazily passive white played over here. Was a very, very slow move. I just want to ask AI to see whether the judgment is right.
Yeah.
AI says white by 13 here.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. I thought that, yeah, it was less than that. I thought it was like slightly less than Komi. But 13 is enough that white is justified in being this crazily passive.
Yeah.
Here. Fair enough. In the game here, as we were counting, then white tried to just get out as much as he could and not get liberty shorted. And then black is trying to save these 2 stones. He is hoping that there will be some fight here and he can make a comeback like that. If white would get all that cleanly, then white would definitely be leading. That's true. So, wow, this move. It's again quite passive. If black just answers, of course, this is going to work for white, where those stones have only 2 liberties, and then, I mean, white can take the liberty right away, or he can do whatever he wants. So black is not going to just answer, and the reason why I said wow is that it feels quite passive to only capture those 2 stones rather than try to do more, but I guess if you try to do more and fail, then you can lose.
Yeah, I don't think white can do much about here. I mean, it seems to be passive, but it may be the best move to catch those 2 stones.
Yeah, it's not it's not going to be that bad to just save your group by capturing the 2 stones and taking the territory there. You're never going to be like, oh no, I lost the game.
Has a great advantage now, so
yeah. Probably they're going to play this endgame out, but Alex should win. It's not really possible against a professional player to win an endgame where you're down more than 10 points.
Yeah.
It's too hard. Too much to catch up. So let's go back to the other game.
Yeah.
Between Ryan and Michael.
So there's a lot going on here, I guess.
Yes. So we left this game at the moment where Michael had sort of accomplished something in his road to comeback by forcing Ryan to fall back to just N17 here, and trying to make his capture race as good as possible. And then Michael actually used that Achi to just play at J18 and take his topside territory. I don't really agree with that, personally. I don't think this is the best way to use it, because still, even after you play that, there's still stuff at F18 here, so it's not really your territory. And Black became super strong by getting to answer. So, personally, I would have been more expecting to see some move here as the Sente move, and then you allow Black to play J18 if they want. This is a very territorial way to handle things. And then he immediately strikes on the side, like this. I think J18 can't be useful in this fight. Some move over here could be maybe useful. I mean, at least if you're going to play this, you should play this first before choosing which move you're going to get in Sente, right?
Oh, sorry, I can't find the variation you're on.
I'm sorry. I've been trying. I've just assumed that I had the control, but it was you. Let me.
Oh, sorry.
Let me take the control back. No. My bad. So, I was discussing this move. My bad. This move, I don't like it. I don't think this move is correct. I think after that one, Black's answer is really easy, obviously.
Yeah.
Black just make sure to save his stones. And then this one is supposed to be for territory, but Black can still play anytime later. He can play here to break that territory.
Yeah.
So there's not really anything there anyway. So, just in general, I would be expecting to see a move in the center be the forcing move, whichever that you choose. But also, if the next thing we're going to do is play B9, we should probably do that first, and then do stuff with that. Anyway, in the game, Black attached and extended here, so you discovered some potential in the corner. Later, often there's this move at A. Okay?
Yeah.
We're going to see that in the game? We are.
It's very difficult for White to kill these Black stones. Almost impossible.
It's so impossible, especially when you played the two space, which Ryan is using that weakness here. Chen, he could have played from this side instead if he, saw C3 and he's like, Ryan's going to do that. I mean, not let Black take C3, but that just means that you don't have less, you have less control from the side over here as well. So maybe you would see the same kind of variation, and Black would just run out, and then the one stone feels so passive, right? So instead we have this, and then the reason why this is something to be avoided is that you really can't do anything but allow Black into the corner here. So if Black wanted, he could play here, and he could just be alive. Then White would cut, and that would be good for White. It's pretty annoying for Black to have to play here. This is quite a small area, and White is feeling pretty satisfied, I think, with that. So he chose instead to connect in the center. Allow White this cut, and Ryan is trying to save his group by actively running to all these areas.
Yeah, and by running to those areas, Black can also limit the territories White can gain in those areas.
Right. So Ryan is trying to make nothing special happen in this game, since he already took a victory over here. Chen is always the one trying to make something happen, and Ryan is always the one saying, no, nothing happens.
Yeah.
He just runs through here. This offers Chen some cuts, but Ryan is planning, so if Chen cuts like this, Ryan is planning to sacrifice that one stone. It may look exciting, but actually this is going to be a relatively simple fight at the end, where these 3 stones are just kind of dead. And then Ryan would be super alive, even if Chen continues to try to take the bottom side. Probably that's not going to be good enough.
Yeah, but White don't have enough points territory now.
Yeah, exactly. So instead, Chen tries to do it the more complicated way, save his stones first and prepare that cut later, and then Ryan answers the cut by attaching. Making sure he has the strongest shape. This is now, of course, connected. Either way, White pushes. So White pushes and cuts that way. Okay, interesting. He wants to cut like this. And he's trying to say that these 3 stones are heavy. Honestly, this is a good try by Chen again.
Yeah.
Ryan with the push here is very, very clever timing, where if white blocks like you would normally want to, then Ryan would be able to connect very easily on the side. So white needs to switch, and that allows Ryan to, at some point later, capture or like split these 2 stones and try to save himself. But for the moment,
Yeah.
this one, that Atari was painful, so Ryan answered.
So I guess
Then,
what white want to do now is like by attacking this group of black stones, maybe white want to gain a lot of territory in the middle.
yeah, seems like it, right?
Yeah,
These.
if white is able to get a lot of like enclosing the black stones and get a lot of territories on the middle, but white may be able to have a chance.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. In the meantime, Ryan will just sort of spit through this, and wait by this
Yeah.
time. Yeah. And then Zichen played here. This is where the game was when we just started commentating it recently. And I think this move again, I mean, it shows what Michael was thinking. He wants this area.
Yeah.
But I think it again shows that this J18 move, if only we hadn't played there, this could potentially be Sente to play at B. But we lost that opportunity. Ryan plays here.
So like black want to do is like while trying to get some territory on the bottom side while trying to limiting the territory white gains.
Yes, exactly. When you invade a potential area, basically white is saying this is my potential area, and then black has 2 options to deal with that. He can invade it or he can reduce it. If you invade, you tend to give your opponent like a target, your invading group, and there's some extra weakness they can chase around. But if you reduce, you're gaining value on the other side while you're handling the Moyo. So if you want to handle a potential and you want nothing special to happen, like especially for any players watching who tend to die whenever their opponents have a potential, you should try to reduce more often than in invading. It is very annoying from white's side to see this black move and be like, oh, you just got value and you have another route in, and what do I do about that?
It's still kind of difficult for white to gain a lot of territory because black can still play at O12 and then connect that stone, and then white have some cuts outside there.
Right.
So it's kind of difficult for white.
There's routes in at A, at B, around here as well. And of course, what black just did is he created this route in at D. But we can say, by the way, these 4 stones of black have kind of died naturally.
Yeah.
That's good for white. That's an accomplishment. And that's why he answers here. If you would allow black to come in from the side, maybe black would use those stones again. So it makes a lot of sense to block and prevent black from trying to save those stones back.
Yeah.
And yeah, black takes that other route in, of course. This is white Sente, and that's white Sente. And then white answers. So once again, we're seeing if black would block there, then white plays some other area, black blocks. Even just this much is already annoying to have to deal with when you're white.
Yeah.
Black is just reducing in by harassing over these stones over and over and over again. So
but
blocking
now
that
is still like maybe play still go into that into the space maybe by playing L11.
So L11 would be over here looking at I can both come in and I can reduce, and also, by the way, you still have a weak group over there. You still have some cuts that you have to handle. But first, Ryan just played this push, and then he played from here. So yeah, there's just so many different directions that you can handle this weight from. You can sort of see if you just handle your opponent's potential area by reducing. From before, when we had this position and it looked like it was really big, every single area where there was a door, over here, over here, over here, the potential just gets pressed in if you go to reduce there, and you get your right. Basically, Ryan pressed from the bottom side, and then Michael had to answer. And then he pressed from the right side, and Michael had to answer. And then he pressed from the left side, and Michael had to answer. And so after all of that has been said and done, the potential that was earlier just a huge box has been reduced enough that, I mean, what Ryan got over here is almost as big.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, this move by Wait was saying, I want to save that and kill you, I guess. So Ryan just answered, he's like, don't kill me. And by the way, I will try to kill you over here sometime.
Hmm.
So Zichen answered by letting Ryan split. Oh, that's so annoying. If this was actually like worst for Wait to answer somehow.
Yeah.
I played a few more blocks. So these blocks were like, okay, partially it's the stuff that you're doing there, but mostly Zichen wanted to play moves that are on the bottom side that gain the potential to break that territory that Black is outlining. And we have a Ko. Of course, Wait plays the Ko, right? Wait needs the Kachuf. Can't not play the Ko. And Black just connects. Of course, Black does not want to play the Ko because he's leading.
Yeah. But White still need to put a step here, and then Black can continue to limit White's area.
It's very annoying for Michael that he had to play there. I'm sure he would have loved to play some move over here, but this one, if Wait plays here, then like this. Is this the way to properly kill it?
I think Black can just connect, like can I...
sorry. Yes, of course we can just connect here.
Yeah.
And then here, I just forgot. And then here, Wait is also dead. Yeah, makes sense. I didn't actually do my reading before playing the moves. Okay. So yeah, B2 was gonna kill Wait, and Wait needed to answer. And then Black cut here. So annoying.
That's annoying.
It's a great move. Great move by Ryan.
Yeah. It's painful for White.
White just chooses to Atari here, but that leaves this cut still an Atari for Black later. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that White could have answered on this side to stop that, because then Black would push through in the center here. There's, you know, several cuts added together. From this position, it wasn't that obvious, to be honest, that if you just make that turning cut, that all these cuts are gonna like collapse for White. But somehow here, we're on the road to collapse. And Black just jumps. He could have cut here first, and then done this. Maybe we would play here. I'm not exactly sure. Probably here is a little better.
I think maybe
there's still gonna be cuts like this.
Yeah, there's still cuts. But I mean, Black can do like playing at M3 and forcing White to connect while gaining some territories back.
Right. Like, so probably this way is better for White, so that the M3 thing is short of liberties, and then yeah, this would be obviously a failing variation for Black here, where he lost his Sente. Right. So Wait can get the next move. So that's why he just played away. And then wow, Wei had to connect this cut too. Yeah, painful again. And then finally, Black comes back to reduce with your move, the center. This one means if Wait plays here, there's this Atari, right? And then if Wait answers, then this connection is so nice because Wait needs to save these stones in Gote sometime later. And if you push through instead to this side, then often we're going to see this. Also, there's still chances that you could try to block. So maybe for now we wouldn't exchange.
But I think it's enough for Black just to play an 11.
Yeah, the simple way.
That's a simple way, but Black still have other chance.
This, although it's potential, it's still not sealed in. It's what you're saying. So that's still nothing really.
Black can save like one stone here.
Yeah.
Breaking the territory there.
Yeah. This can save. This one can use over to here. Yeah, it's beautiful. So Wait didn't interact with it at all, which I think is the correct way to handle this knight's move. Just is what Black gets. And wow, he actually got this one in Sente, which is good because it prevents that F18.
Yeah.
That was well done. And next. Played here. This is the upper bracket again, yes. This is round 2, the upper bracket, the in-cup qualifiers, where the winner of this game will qualify for the in-cup. It seems like it's going to be Ryan. Doing very well. Which just answered, and then, yeah, the reason why Ryan did this one is he had prepared to do this rather than use that cut on the bottom side. And then to be able to push through here. Oh, again.
That's torturing White.
Yes, it's so mean. It's so mean. There's so many ways to continue from here. Basically, the point is that these stones are in huge trouble, and Black will be able to reduce everything.
I feel like for White, it's very painful to play in a game like this. Like,
yes,
you can do nothing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ryan is showing how he's the stronger player. I mean, basically, Ryan. I haven't seen any move of his be a mistake, even in the very complicated position over here. Like with all of our analysis, it seems like S15 is the best, right? Do you agree?
Yeah.
So it seems like the whole game was just clean by Ryan here. I mean, maybe you can argue that the Tenukis here were weird, but it was not easy to punish. Basically, the whole game I haven't really seen his mistake. So that's. How do you beat him if you never show the other guy making a mistake?
Like, why is continuing to try to find like chances to fight, and then maybe if Black make a mistake, but Black doesn't make a mistake.
Yeah, exactly. It's so painful when you do this too, as the White player. It feels like you're just taking loss after loss after loss, but you have to keep on making losses because otherwise you just lose, right? You, actually lose. So. I mean, at this moment, if Zichen was winning, no chance he'd ever play here. But because he's losing, he has to do it. Otherwise, he's just going to lose. Right? If he was winning, it would be so easy to just play here and be satisfied. But, yeah, you're losing, so you have to lose more. It's your obligation.
So painful.
Oh, Black is the perfect squeeze.
That
Everything
seems
is
to
connected.
Be so perfect.
Oh, it's so perfect. All right. This is crazy.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Like, White seems to have a lot of potential territory at first, but now, like
the whole box. Remember when I outlined this whole box, and then where is the box?
Nothing.
There's nothing.
There.
There's nothing. Yeah. And you ask where is White's compensation for the box, but Black is the one who got the compensation too. Like, it's not fair. Oh man. Another very, very good game by Ryan. I'm actually looking forward to seeing his performance in the qualifiers. If he plays this well, he has chances to win games in the In-Cup and in the other World Championships. I still wouldn't put him as like a favorite in the tournament or even close to it, but like he can win games for sure if he plays. It's really good game quality.
Yeah.
I have news from the chat that Alex Chi just officially won the game versus Minjiu. So let's take a look at that end game and. Okay. So eventually that game was won by resignation. Minjiu just resigned. He was down by about 12 points. So we left it off. They were playing some endgame. White just captured here. Black turned here. They just played the big endgame moves. Black got to this S9.
Endgames.
Just endgame. Nothing really special happens.
Yeah, White just have more territories.
Yeah.
Yeah, just endgames.
And that was it. And Minjiu resigned. This was also a well played game by Alex.
Yeah, I feel like maybe like letting Black to eat those 5, 6, 7 stones may not be maybe actually White is not bad for doing this exchange.
This variation looked very crazy. It was very easy to see that you can do this, but it was not easy to see that it was playable, like actually going to be good afterwards. But it seemed like after this,
evaluate.
Right. Very hard to evaluate. Like, I mean, you've just given Black cash for influence that breaks this, where you kind of already had influence. Maybe it's better.
Yeah, I mean, White needs to be confident in his evaluation that this is not bad.
Yeah. Self-confidence is something that Alex is starting to get more of. He's a young player, by the way, and I can feel in his game that like his study with AI and general study with pros and his practice and all that is starting to is starting to be stuff that he can trust more. Like he's trusting himself a lot more about going into these kinds of trading decisions in situations where before he would just have sort of defended and waited, something like that. Yeah, just I mean a few small mistakes by Minjiu that led to Alex sort of winning every fight. I mean, this J15 was even just a good way to win the fight. Overall, I mean, punish the one space jump. This extend here also a sharp move. Honestly, just a relatively clean overall good game for Alex. We have a question in the chat about the S8 throw-in. So at some point in the end game here, Wade is going to throw in the S8 and then play here. So in comparison, if you played here originally, there's no co-threat. But if you play the S8 throw-in and then you play here and black captures, there's a co-threat later. So it's just objectively better to play like that. No difference in territory, but it is the better shape for white later. It's sharp. It's good.
Yeah, that's sharp. Like it's very subtle, especially that white already wins, but it shows that like white is very good at these base. I'm not sure how to call it. Like it's subtle, but shows that white is very skilled at.
It shows some skill. It shows he's not just brain off, right? He's still thinking, and still trying his best, still trying to make sure that he plays the good quality game, and he wins the game at the end for it. So well done to Alex. We're probably going to see Alex versus Michael unless we see an absolute miracle in the game between Ryan and Michael here. Alex and Michael is almost certainly going to be slated up as our round 3 matchup for the second qualifier to the Cup. Back to the Ryan and Michael game, we just saw, I mean, Michael is basically just defending some territories now and hoping that they're big enough because he has nothing else to do. I think that we probably will see a resignation soon in this game. They're both in Buyomi at the moment, so it's not that easy.
How much time do they have? Like,
they have 1 minute Buyomi 5 times, and both of them still have 5 Buyomis.
Yeah, that's very long.
That is
very long.
That should be enough.
Hard to make a mistake.
Yeah. Ryan isn't going to be like on his last seconds trying to frantically click and misclick and like something. I don't think it's gonna happen.
If it's like 10-second one chance, there's chances that people will make a lot of mistakes, but 1 minute 5 times is a lot.
Yeah, and I don't think this game is close enough that just one mistake will bring White back into it, to be honest. This is still... I mean, I just want to ask AI how much it is. It is... Wait, it's only 6 points, apparently, according to AI. That's surprising to me. I thought this game was the bigger gap. Only 6 points is not that bad.
But, I mean, it's close to endgame now. So
yeah, in practice it's like pretty over, but
like now black also make a good move now. Like
yes,
that's a good move.
A stellar move. If white descends here, then black has this cut and extend from this direction. Then obviously white can't Atari down because white has just shorted his liberties over here. He has a hard time running as well, so he can't easily run this way and run here because he's short. That's what H18 just did. Here he's short of liberties again, here he's short of liberties again. So this is punishing the mistake of white to answer the C19 with E19. That was a little bit too greedy by white. Of course, you're behind by 6 points, so you got to be greedy somewhere. But in this case, that was not effective. Probably you have to play like this one, but it's so painful.
That's painful.
Here we're gonna see this Hane next, and then there's this as well. So you have to respond again here. How can you win the game when you put the stone in your own territory? It's so weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's very hard to play, but this one is a working move from black, which just had to answer.
Even better is Sente.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
And we see the Hane too. This one says, "Hey, you can't do that." Well, Chen has just done this. But he's saying you cannot do that because I will Atari you here, right? Oh, do I cut first and then do I Atari? and he wants to make it so that there's a ko here, like this, but there isn't a ko. Wait.
Wait, if black plays f18, yeah, but
f18 and white answers here.
I'm not sure about this for black.
Seems to not work. Maybe Ryan made a misread here.
Can I have control?
Maybe this is not successful.
Yeah, I thought black is going to do like this, and then maybe then do other things, but
yeah, I agree that bottom side as well is probably the biggest area. Oh, it's
right. Okay, it seems
Ryan just went there.
Black made a small mistake.
Yes. So
given that the AI says that black is only an advantage of 6 points, maybe now it's quite close. Maybe
indeed, because this was definitely like a considerable mistake for endgame size. The reason why you were saying that this one is Sente, by the way, if white would continue to play away, then from here we can continue to actually like break into the white area. Even if you just play like this, it's more potential breaking. So there is some power there. But maybe honestly, it felt like it wasn't enough to Ryan. Maybe Ryan thought, "Oh, this is scary, so let me try to get more."
Because if black want to break more into that territory, that move is also not Sente. So
yeah, this move doesn't have a follow-up threat as a continuation. It's just a capture.
Maybe black can just reserve this thing and just go down to like N2 instead.
So to immediately play here without doing anything, but then it feels like, oh, why did I exchange H18?
But black can also just do not play H18. I don't know.
Yeah, it seemed like it was good, but yeah.
Well, what does AI say for now? How close is it?
It's a good question. In the actual game, we've just seen Michael take the stone here, so to really get some more points in that area, and then Ryan took the 2 stones on the left side, so that's also quite valuable. Means he doesn't have to ever like bow down to live. And Chen played this wedge, which is a sharp move locally. It says if you Atari like this and Atari me down, then you have to connect in order to win the Liberty race against me. But when I play here, well, there's a few ways to play it. Here, we're going to actually have to answer again in Gote. So probably better to start with this one and force white to
and white can get that one black stone in Sente.
Yes. So the capturing of that stone in Sente is worth the throwing in to give black an additional point on the wedge there. So this should be a sharp endgame sequence to play here. Probably black will just be playing here, though. And then you can't really do that much with this exchange of M7.
Yeah, because connecting that stone is not Sente, I guess.
Yeah. So, this is indeed played in the game. And then we could count ourselves and try to do that, or we can ask AI again.
Count ourselves.
All right, let's try counting. Practice the counting.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, I think the game is very close now, actually.
Yeah.
It seems to be actually really close. Wow, what is this move by white? Or by black, I mean. This one says, if you do this, then I can make it ko, like this. You can't connect. If you play there, I have double Atari.
Oh,
Wow!
wow. Okay.
Here, maybe this was all planned, and he just wanted to see their
Yeah,
response.
that's all planned.
Oh my goodness. Of course, natural way to play is like this now, and then black makes this ko, which is too heavy for white to fight. So likely we're just going to see a back off like this.
Yeah.
This means black basically Hanade and then has the chance to save these later.
Yeah.
So that was sharp by
Yeah,
Ryan.
that's
That
so
actually
sharp.
adjusts things. I think Ryan is
That's
doing
very
okay.
sharp.
But I also thought it's going to be important throughout this end game to be able to get to A. This is a very big ko if black can start playing. And to also, if you can exchange, so if you can play a B, I think white wants to respond to C, but then you play a D, and then you can connect those. And then you can also get into E if you get D as well.
Yeah.
So there's a couple areas left with fight in them. White can also try to play in that area first and hope to be able to keep some pressure on basically black is not that well connected in that area. We can try to get some more space. But it seems like this variation is going to end in black's sente. I mean, white should capture the ko once first, but I don't think basically black is going to play some random ko threat, and then white will not really be able to fight this.
White can fight this.
Yeah. The game. I think it's probably correct to take this one first.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a big move.
As white,
or maybe can is will black? I'm thinking about can white be able to protect those two stones by playing at J11, but it seems that white can.
You want to try to do?
J11?
You want to try to say, hey, if you cut me, then you increase, like you yourself are gonna get cut.
Yeah, but like black can connect those two stones in Sente by playing at J8, so.
Oh, and also
I don't think that works. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
It can work.
I think maybe, so in the game, by the way, the actual ko threat that black chose was this one, and then white answered, and then we have this, and then white is actually fighting this ko a little bit.
Yeah.
The obvious response for black is to just answer, and then white has another couple like relatively free ko threats. The chat says no ko is too heavy for Chen Wake for the white player. But this ko, I mean, maybe white can try to fight it. It's so bad if you lose the ko. So if white accidentally plays some not real ko threat.
But like white only have like at most one ko. I don't think, maybe that's not a ko in the.
Even this one is not clear that's a ko threat, right? Like even though white captures that, this is so big still again. And then
I'm not sure about is that a ko, but at most one ko threat, but black still have at least two ko threats. So
here
white is not going to win this ko.
So white eventually just gave up, and then black played T12 first. So this should be black's right.
Yeah, that's Sente. Because it if white do not respond, black can do Atali at S8 and then connect it.
It's so annoying to suffer this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
That's
actually we shouldn't exchange 4, right? But directly some
I
move.
think it's just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Wei should respond, of course. After Wei responds, there's not going to be anything serious in here.
Mm.
And then, yeah, we're thinking that this is the biggest move, but there are a couple other relatively large moves. We could consider to try this ko right away. I think it's just not quite as big. Like you play here and then Wei plays here, and then you lose so much potential. You can't like easily play here anymore and stuff
I
like
think,
that.
but I think Black can still play there. Yeah,
Still,
because
probably.
yeah, because Black can Black has two connection points.
This one is Black's Sente. It's a little painful to
Yeah.
give Wei an additional point here, but it's not that painful that you wouldn't do it. And if it's all connected like that, then here you can see
Yeah, Black is still
these stones
connected.
either way connect.
Yeah.
So Wei would just answer.
But I mean, connecting playing at M15 is a Sente for Black, I guess.
So Ryan is taking his 1 point Sentes here a couple times, and then he plays this one first.
Mm.
Should be fine. And now Wei fights this ko a little bit. So this is annoying for Black. Excuse me. Mostly because if he loses this ko and Wei gets to play the K19, there's also going to be consequences for this area. So if you lose this ko, let's say Black plays a powerful move in the center and win the ko, and then Black would like to play here, again, save that stone and poke Wait. But now Wait is going to respond differently. Wait is going to play here. And Black cannot play on the inside anymore. It's self-Atari. And even there's going to be a threat from this that Wait is threatening to throw in at E and Atari and make a ko to capture this whole Black dragon. So Black would be feeling very awkward to just answer, and Wei saves in Sente. And this should not, should not be good if you just play an endgame move as your ko threat here.
Yeah.
So Black connected.
Yeah, but Black can still play ko afterwards.
Yes.
So it's not White's territory yet.
So the end game is actually going to be quite complicated with these two major kos on the board, as well as some relatively open areas still. There's still, something to be decided around this area. Something to be decided. In this area, they seem to be settling it. There's still a little bit around the board, basically. But mostly it should be those two kos that we're fighting over. I guess that Ryan is about to play here right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big move.
M16 is Sente for White. Right, asks the chat. So if White plays at M16, is it forcing? It's probably not directly forcing, but it is very, very big. Definitely a very large endgame over there. In the meantime, we have this very large ko. So White did not just fall down like this. I think White would be probably losing by a point or two if he's very passive here and just lets Black get all these. So he fights harder like this. He wants to win this ko. And he's going to try to use the rest of the endgame as his ammunition to win the ko. Now, this is a very interesting first ko threat to play. If Black wins it, it's possible for Black to try to play like this. White is going to attach, right? The right way?
Yeah, but can White gain a lot from this?
It doesn't seem like actually White can get really very much. I mean, this Black cut doesn't work, but...
Yeah, but I mean, Black can just answer by playing at P2, yeah.
Yeah, this variation instead... Excuse me?
I'm not sure, is that a ko threat? Because Black is gaining a lot by winning that ko.
Over here, Black gets 2 points for captures, 2 points for territory, and the additional potential to capture another point, to Atari another stone. So that basically would be a capture in Sente for 1 point as well. Is basically Black is getting 3 points in that area, and an additional half point for that, I guess. Not exactly sure how to count that half point, because there's some issues with the cut over there. If white wins this ko, on the other hand, so if white wins and then properly wins the ko, white captures 2 stones, so that's 2 points. Probably only 1 point for territory from that, but also 3 points back here, so 4 points, right?
Yeah.
And so overall, the swing between who wins the ko is worth. Well, I didn't actually count the fact that this point is changing and the fact that this point is changing as well.
But
So it's
I think
not
it's
just
like at least 10 points for
yeah.
this
I think it's
ko.
about 10-point ko over here. So
Mm,
it's not something like that. Maybe a little more than 10.
yeah. I think maybe more than 10.
Yeah.
I'm really not
So
sure. I don't think that ko threat is big enough.
so yeah, this ko threat. The second move that basically for this ko threat to be worth, you need each move in the ko threat to be worth 1/3 of the difference between the two end states. So we decided the difference is probably a bit bigger than 10. So 1/3 of that difference is something like 4. So if you play a ko threat, you should believe that each of your moves is worth 4 points, or like totaled together, your ko threat and its execution is worth 8 points. And it's not that easy to see the 8 points here. So we can see this variation. It plays out basically as expected. We're going to see this. In comparison, if white had just reduced normally, so later at some time where black was responding, black would probably respond here, and we'd see something like this. And then in comparison, black is only like maybe 6 points more, not really 8 points more.
Yeah, and also like black can, if in the previous variation, like black can respond in T3 instead of Q2, and that makes black have 1 additional point as T4.
That is true. That is why white is not doing that. If at any time this one is black's right, and then this one is also black's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So black has an additional point here.
So it seems like that ko, white really wanted this to be his ko threat. Basically, white didn't have as many ko threats overall as black in the game.
Yeah, so white too took this ko threat because if that is a ko threat, then black have white have 2 ko threats here. Instead of if white just take T5 instead, white only have 1 ko threat. So that's why white want to try this ko threat, but it's not a ko threat.
How many points do you give the follow-up of the follow-up? You should give 50% of the value for the... So each time, the idea is, if you're calculating like that, if you're counting like follow-ups of follow-ups, you should be counting only gote moves. Because if they're sente moves, you should just give them as right. Like that is part of the original move. So if you count a follow-up of a follow-up, you should believe they're both gote for like both players, which means it's effectively a 50-50 if you just like haven't calculated the whole board, but just in general, it's a 50-50 who will get it, right? So every time that you have a follow-up gote move and you want to add that calculation to the original count of what you're counting, you have it. You say 50-50 whether I get that or he gets that, so I have the value of what I'm checking for each follow-up. So yeah, it would be 25% if you have the follow-up of a follow-up and both are gote. So in the game, after all that ko threat stuff was fought over, white chose to connect here on the top side, and black captured, which is forcing as discussed, and then connected here. This
that's actually kind of a strange order because white could have the chance to like. Okay, could I have a control now?
Yes.
But white could have a chance to do this. Like, I feel like maybe the people recording the games get wrong because white could have a chance to do this, and then white gets this stone by sente.
No, unfortunately, I can guarantee that the people recording the game didn't get it wrong it is being played live into our review here.
Then maybe
so, yeah, you're correct.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe white is afraid of this call, but since we assume that white is in a disadvantage, I don't know. Maybe white should still try.
Yeah. I agree. I think that white just associated T3 as black's forcing move in his head, and then didn't even think to play away when black played there. Yeah. it happens even to pros.
Yeah, that's valid.
So yeah, black being able to get here, it does mean also that black owes a move. So this is black's gote. It means it's reverse sente. It was white's right to play here. That was white's sente move if you would play that. When black takes it as his gote move and then answers in the end, then you double the value of the apparent change if it's a reverse sente move. So in this case, white could have made 3 points here. Is it 3 or only 2? It's only 2, right? Because these two are Mia.
Oh yeah,
probably.
2 points.
So white could have made 2 points there, and then black stopped it. But if white had done that, it would have been sente, and since black did it, black took gote. That means black played effectively a 4-point gote move. Is how you would count it in general. You can count it a bit more complicated if you get advanced, but that I get confused sometimes.
True.
Anyway, after that, Michael played this move, which is just basically a forcing move. I don't think it really does that much for him. And then he played another forcing move, and then he played here. Why did he play there?
Oh, where?
He captured here.
Oh, is it that black can play as S9? Wait a minute. Can black play
if white would play,
S9?
So this move is very big on the left side. This move is worth a lot. That's the other move that you would look at. This move here, and then we're looking at maybe here and here.
Yeah, that is this. Yeah.
This just works. This just works
Yeah,
for
that
white,
works.
I guess.
Yeah.
So if this would happen, white would have had to connect here anyway, and then this would have been ultra painful to let black in this much and just Atari here.
Yeah, so that's also a disadvantage of letting T3 to be a sente for black, because
that's true. It's such a big deal. Oh man. Oh, that's actually such a big deal to let your opponent's T3. It's not just 1 point. It's like an entire endgame move on the right side that just suddenly exists.
Yeah, that's painful for white. Like
that is
maybe
very
that
painful.
call thread was like even not getting any benefit if white need to do this.
So then black could capture here. It was so big.
Yeah,
Wait.
that's so big.
Connected here, but that means that black can capture here. There was definitely some excitement in this endgame. I think it got close. I think Chen had chances, but it looks like black will win finally.
Yeah. I mean, there might be some, maybe not, but it's close at one time, but now
Chen may have gotten a chance, but yeah, it does not seem like he's made the most of it, if there even was a chance at all. Ah, what a shame. This co-threat was so greedy. It was just hoping that he could get some more by having Ryan not calculate it precisely, but yeah, eventually if you have to answer there, it can be the losing move. Unlucky.
Yeah.
But I feel like we should look through this game, because frankly, I was shocked that Chen was only behind by 6 points.
Yeah, I'm also shocked. So maybe we should evaluate like before, at some point, how close is it, and then
like around here, surely black was doing quite well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, already he is kind of dead on the right side, but it still feels like very good. Maybe when white did this stuff and then combined it when black had to just answer a couple times, maybe this was better than we thought for white. I sort of thought this was just a small win, but
yeah, maybe.
Also, if black does this exchange and then doesn't actually care about the corner, doesn't that like not make that much sense? Like it would have been better to just run first and wait for the time that that you can play c3 later.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I feel like maybe like black let those two stones being cut may not be good.
Yeah, somehow like this fight,
I think
White
maybe
suddenly
white
has a
gets
potential.
benefits here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though the potential is like kind of not that potential at the end, white still gain something here.
Yeah, yeah. Just having that in the first, it seemed like right now that Black should be attacking those 4 stones, and then suddenly White had the advantage in the fight, and Black only got like a some shape compensation. Didn't actually work out to be that much.
I guess maybe black should take the corner before, like letting white to get the 2 stones, because like in the game, uh, white get the corner while also being able to like kind of attacking black and have the potential in the middle. So maybe instead black should just get a
This
corner
variation.
and like black is totally alive now, don't need to worry about being attacked, while white do not have the may not be able to get the potential that easily.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. This does look more cumbersome for White when Black is like basically in the game, Black kept having to worry about his group, which is why White could build the potential. And in this one, if you never have to worry about your group again, then Black has freedom to play everywhere in the center.
Yeah,
And
like the corner is very big, already very
yeah,
big.
that's true. That's true as well. Eventually, we saw Black just playing this move at b5, which eventually he made work by forcing White to answer, but it's not a very big move at all in comparison to like if you earlier had the chance to play at b2, especially. This variation, where there was this ko and Black just answered here, that's definitely passive
But
to
I don't
answer.
think black like if white wins the call, those stones can be cashed. So I think the only way to is just be passive.
Yeah, probably is not actually bad. In the end game, they just played it out quickly. Black has just won by 5.5 points. That is the final tally. I think around
That's
what we
kind of
expected
close.
after the. But yeah, definitely kind of close. Definitely kind of close. And um, I can't imagine any part of this being bad for Black. This looks so good to
Yeah,
play
these look
all these
so
squeezes.
good. Yeah.
But just around here is still a close game. So overall,
Yeah.
I mean, very well done by Michael to fight in the bottom left. So well that he was like clawing his way back in the game, and we didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Well done to Michael, but super well done to Ryan, who managed to prevail through those difficulties and secure the game in the end game. Finally, very interesting game. Very nice game. It was a
Yeah.
pleasure to commentate with you, Taylor.
Yeah. Same.
And thank you all to the viewers for watching. Loads of fun. The next round, round 3, between Michael and Alex is, I'm sure, going to be a doozy. They've been going back and forth with each other. Each of them are getting wins recently, so I think it'll be a very exciting game. And that's hosted tomorrow at the same time as today by a couple of relatively famous people. So look forward to that. I won't spoil it. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to Devin for hosting us. Thanks to the players. See you all again another time. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.